my power switch here and watch this. Boom. Isn't that insane, guys? All right, guys, so with my little shop here, we do not have very good lighting. I've done the best that I can with what I've had so far. I've got like some string lights up there, and I've got some old house lamps around here and whatnot, some back there as well too. So what I did was I went on Amazon and I was looking around and see what kind of good solutions I could put, because unfortunately we do not own this house, so I cannot do anything permanent to the structure. I mean, I'm sure I could, but anything I do, I want to be able to take with me. So I was looking for some good string lights, nothing like these that I have now, but more like construction style ones. And I went for like the brightest ones I could find. So I found a 100-foot section. It's got 10 lights on it. I bought 2 of them, and they're super bright. And let's go ahead and check them out and see what they look like. I hope that they go smooth. I've got this little ladder back here that you can see, and I need to see if that's gonna be tall enough. I need to figure out a way to use that ladder to get to the tall section up here. You guys can see that where I put the lights before is about as high as I can reach on the ladder. So it's gonna be a little tricky. If we gotta go to Home Depot to get another ladder, I'm not afraid to do so, but let's see how much we can get installed. Also, I got some colored LED strips to put around, just to kind of give it some cool color and stuff too, just for like the background while we're shooting videos. So let's check it out, and hopefully you guys like it. So here we go. This is the lights that I got. So I got 2 sets of these, and they're both 100 feet long. I'll put the link down in the description for you guys, just like I always do. All the goodies are down there in the description. So I did a ton of research as far as looking around to see which ones were the best. And these are the ones that I could find. They had I think they had like over 500 reviews, and they were like 4.7, 4.8 stars. I'm not quite sure. You guys will see. But man, look at these things. And I already plugged them in, and they are hella bright, like super bright. So they're not quite as bright as my spotlights over there, but that's okay. Those things get hot. When you turn them on inside here, it definitely heats up the building. And these right here, when I had them plugged in inside, they were getting a little hot too. So not much we can do as far as fighting with the heat. I wanted to measure how long I have in between each bulb, because when I undid one of the strands, it was super long. I'd say at least 4 or 5 feet. So, but first, let me plug these in for you guys. Check this out. Bam! Look at that. I mean, I don't know if it does any justice on camera, but I mean, that is super, super bright. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's crazy. So I think they said these were like 16,000 FM or FL or LM, whatever the hell they're saying on there. But holy cow, these things are super bright, super, super bright. And you guys can see there's one light there, and I've got the other one. Look how far that is that I have in between. I mean, that's the whole length of this couch. So that's gonna be at least 6 feet, I'd say, in length there. So I'm wanting to kind of do them on every rib. I might have to just coil up the wire around the light or something. I might just wrap it up around the back of the light, or I'll just coil it up like they have it here. All right, let's go ahead and get them installed. This is gonna be sick. Oh, and then also, check it out. Some cheap little 100-foot sections of LED strip. So 200 feet of strip and 200 feet of lights. That should definitely brighten it up in here and change the whole appeal, which is gonna be sick. Man, I tell you what, I should have done this a long, long time ago. You can see here, I started off by taking off all those old lights that I had strung up whenever we first moved in. I even had to do a little bit of finagling with the ladder. I had to put it up on like my toolboxes and stuff to get up on the other side. But you can see I started putting them up here, and it worked out pretty well. I just took the slack and bundled it up in the center and just kind of zip tied it around the rib there. And I'm telling you, these lights came out so bright. Wait till you guys see here at the end. And it's a night and day difference, literally. I should have done it so long ago. Highly recommend these things. And the next place that we get, hopefully we buy, and I'm gonna make sure I have really good lighting in that place. I went ahead and switched these flags around. I had a couple of comments earlier, way back when I first started posting, that I had the flags backwards. So I went ahead and changed those for you guys. I didn't mean to do that. That was my bad. So sorry about that. And man, I tell you what, this project took me about 3 hours all in all. I mean, every single rib I had to get up and down and move the ladder. So it was a lot more time consuming than I remembered it being when I did the original ones. But here we are, and we've got it pretty much wrapped up. Can't wait to see what it looks like. It's going to be super sick. All right, y'all, that was quite a project, but we got it done, and holy smokes, man, I'm telling you, I should have done this the day I moved in. It's crazy. It lights up insane in here. So let me go ahead and show you real quick. That way we can actually do it some justice. Plus, it is nighttime outside, so this will be perfect. So right now, we're just going off of our regular light. So we have the one light that the building came with, and then we have our little like workstation lights here, and that's all the light that we have in here, you know, obviously besides like whatever you're getting from the TV, but this is all we got. So let's go ahead and kill all this. All right, so we got everything off on that side, and I'm gonna turn off these lights here. I've got them wired up to the switch right here, so there you guys go, right? Completely dark. Now I'm gonna flip on my power switch here and watch this. Boom. Isn't that insane, guys? Holy smokes. I mean, it feels like, I mean, it's literally night and day in here. It is crazy. I mean, I'm like, my mind is so blown. I feel like such an idiot for working with those little crappy lights for this whole time, man. But hey, it is what it is. So each one of these, I think, was like 80 or 90 bucks, maybe. Let's just call it 100 bucks for each one. So 200 bucks was well worth it. Versus trying to, remember when I bought these for like 170, which these are great. These still get used, but those are literally as hot as the sun. So I know that these, they generate some heat too, but man, oh man, I mean, I don't even need this light anymore. Let me see, look, you know, it doesn't even, it is, I mean, it does a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll leave it off. I mean, holy cow, guys, this is crazy. I switched the flags around, and I also got some other stuff too. I got this right here. This is gonna be sick. This is a Brembo Racing banner. We can see it here, but boom, just like that. And then I got the Florida flag. We got some other stuff we're gonna put up here, but man, so you guys can see I have the slack coiled up, and I've just got them zip tied around in the centers. I need to do this one, but I have to clear off a spot so I can get up there. But I was able to get them all up in there. Tuck the slack. Right here was great because I was able to do 3. And over here, I finished up on this side. It would have been nice to do this on this side. So you guys can see that when I got to that last corner, I realized that I had enough lights to put them on every single beam. So that looks really nice, but it's okay because I don't have much light over there. And when the garage door is up, a lot of that light's gonna be blocked anyway. So a little bit of extra light is okay. Technically, there's 2 more light bulbs on that side than this side, but man, this is great. I'm telling you, I just can't. This is gonna be such a huge help whenever we're painting the truck. I'm telling you, this was the main reason I did this. I was thinking like maybe I should get some for the center, but I don't even think I'm gonna need it. I mean, you guys be the judge. Go down to the comments and let me know what you guys think about these things. For 200 bucks, I feel like I should have done it a long time ago, but anyways, they're super sick. I hope they last a long time. They should. They had really good reviews, and they were definitely worth the money. These were the brightest ones I could find. I mean, they all have little carabiner clips. They were, I mean, high quality. They're great. They're not like super heavy or anything. I am super satisfied with this. You guys see how I had to tie up my slack up there, and that's just so it, you know, kind of stays out of the way, doesn't get caught by anything or whatever. But, and then I've got the power cord here. It ends right there, and then it stops right there. And then I got the power cord here, just running over here to this little switch. That way I could turn it on and off like a regular switch, like that, and then that. So if any of you guys need lights for your attic, these would be really perfect for some type of big attic or crawl space. You can just put them under there. They're waterproof. You don't have to worry about them, and they're super, super bright. So anybody that does like any type of vending or art shows or anything like that, man, I highly recommend them.
Now here I just wanted to throw up some LED lights just to kind of give it a little bit of ambient lighting, something different to look at. I also got some banners and stuff that we'll be hanging up, but let me know what you guys think about these LED lights. Is it too ricey? Is it too cheesy? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I just kind of wanted something to brighten it up a little bit. We have so much white in there with all this metal and everything. I really just wanted some colors. So that was my main reason for getting all the banners that you'll be seeing here soon, as well as these lights. So put down in the comments what you think. Thanks, guys.
Boom. Isn't that cool? I'm debating on whether I should black out the ones that come down. You know, I can cover them with some tape or something. That way it's just the top is illuminated. I'm still debating on whether I want to let my OCD take over on that one, but I think it looks really sick. And you know, you can change it and do all kinds of different colors and stuff. You guys already know the deal with these things, but I went all the way around. I don't have the ladder, I can't show you, but you can see I did two strips all the way around the outside. Now it starts as two strips. One strip does this side, one strip does this side. So one strip goes around twice, and then at the bottom, I had some left over, so I zigzagged it. So there's 4 strands on the bottom on both sides. 4 of them shining a little bit brighter up to the top, and it looks really good. I'm satisfied with it. I thought that I could plug them together because I was gonna like run one like around the top, but I think this actually works out better. And since I have the other box left, I can do it over there behind my Florida flag. Maybe I could do something different on that side, or who knows what. I've got the other box, so. And this is just, my TV has an LED strip on the back of it, so. But yeah, that's sick. I think that we got a lot done today, guys. I mean, we really got a lot accomplished with the lighting and everything. Ready? Ooh, super bright. It's crazy how bright it is. And you can still see the LEDs with the lights on, which is great. I wanted something that kind of like brightened up the background a little bit. I know it gets kind of boring looking at all this metal and raw wood. This is gonna be great. You guys know I had the 4th gen bumper sitting here, and I've had it for sale for a little while now, and I posted it for 400 bucks. Had a bunch of people interested in it, and I just got rid of it for 350 bucks. And you guys remember, I paid 400 for this bumper, so technically I only paid 50 bucks for the sport bumper, which I think is a win. I'm not gonna lie. And I was able to also keep the brackets because the guy is actually putting it back on a 4th gen. I still have the brackets to mount the 4th gen bumper to a 2nd gen, which is sick. I'm just gonna clean those up because they're kind of rusty and nasty. So we'll clean those up with the wire wheel and stuff, and then we'll spray paint them, make them look nice and clean, and then we'll put them up for sale for, I don't know, however much they go for online, and we'll just take off like 10, 15 bucks. Alrighty, y'all, just like that, it's another day. It's really nice today. So it's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see behind me, it's overcast. It's perfect. I think it might be about 85 degrees outside, which is really good. Very rare for us in the middle of July down here in South Florida. So let's go ahead. I've got to finish up this side of the sanding. I've been taking my sweet time with it, doing a little hour here, an hour there, but now it's time to actually get this side completely finished. I don't think we'll get the roof and the hood done today, but at least we'll have this side done. That way both sides are completely done and sanded, and then we can start doing a little bit of the body filler. But let's get this knocked out. That way we don't have to worry about getting all this old paint off anymore.
Alrighty, so here we are knocking out the rest of this sanding, or at least a majority of it. Man, I tell you what, it has been a little bit of a process. This is my first time sanding down an entire vehicle. And honestly, I after watching all the videos, I realized that I was sanding off all of the old paint and bringing it down to, I think, the factory primer, which is not a bad thing, but that's really what people do for like a full restoration. I was really just trying to get down to a clean surface because of all the flaking paint and everything. So I figured I would just keep going and take it all the way down to the primer. And once we get the bodywork done, we're going to be doing I want to do primer, and then I also want to do a sealer before the base coat, before the clear coat. So technically, when we paint this thing, we're going to be putting on 4 different coatings. We're going to do primer, we're going to do sealer, we're going to do base coat, and we're going to do clear coat. Hopefully it comes out really nice and glassy. I've been doing a lot of research and studying up a lot and really taking my time to make sure that I'm doing it the right way. I don't daily drive this truck, so it's okay for this thing to sit in the garage and get worked on. This is basically my modern day hot rod, you know, so this is what I tinker with in the garage. So you guys can see I'm slowly but surely making progress and getting other things done while I'm taking a break from the sanding, because the sanding is very strenuous. You know, I do physical labor work sometimes, but not all the time. And I tell you what, this sanding really wakes up your shoulders and your triceps. I definitely don't use those all the time.
All right, guys. So what I'm doing now is I'm just mixing up my first little batch of Bondo here. I got my stir stick. This is my first time using actual Bondo. I've only used like skimming icing and stuff before. So I got my mixing plate. A little bit of a mess here, but I got my plate so we can mix, and then we'll put on, I don't have a whole lot. I just have some smaller little dents we're gonna skim. I just want to do the door. And then here we've got our harder. Okay, now I say, just put a little bit of this in here. Usually when I see people do it, they put about maybe that much. It's kind of hard to exactly get it right, but that's going to be it. Now, everybody says to take it and spread it. Take it and spread it. You don't really want to mix it because it'll introduce air into the Bondo, so. All right. Let's go ahead and put this on the truck. Alrighty, what I did first was I sprayed it with this glass cleaner. This is highly recommended by a lot of the channels I was watching. So all of the spots, I mean, I did the whole door, but all the spots, I sprayed them all and I wiped them real clean. So let's go ahead and get this on there. Got my little table here. So whenever you do it, they said you want to really push it in to the metal. And let it. All right, y'all. So for it being my first time, not exactly the way I wanted it to come out. I thought it was going to be a little bit more smoother. Maybe it was the way I mixed it. I'm not going to use the paper plate next time. I think that it introduced a little bit of air into it. You can kind of see it's not as smooth. Let me do this here. But it's just not as smooth as I thought it was going to come out. Now, a lot of this is just going to get sanded down. I mean, a lot of it that you see is going to be gone anyways. It's going to kind of end up like this. You know, they weren't even really that major. They were just some of the little tiny cherry dents that I saw. And already looking down the side of the door, it already looks completely straight now that those little dings are gone. It started to dry up on me as I went. And when I got to about here, it was already starting to get a little dry. So I think I might have to sand all that off and start again. But that's okay. It's trial and error. So, and honestly, we don't have that much to do on this truck. So I'm really not too concerned about it. I don't really beat myself up too much whenever things like that don't work out. This is all a learning curve. I mean, you can only watch so much YouTube before you have to actually just jump in and try it. So there could be a whole slew of reasons why it didn't turn out exactly the way I saw it on the videos. You know, this is the cheaper Bondo. So, you know, it's not like a $50, $60 tub of Bondo either. And maybe I should have just got a tube of the icing. That's what I'm really thinking I should have got. Maybe I still will, because the Bondo is really for a lot thicker stuff. The icing is really for what I'm doing right now. The Bondo I would use over here. So I found some here that they've put. It gets thick here and then it thins out. So, and this right here, you can see I've circled, there's a ding here and then there's a big ding here, kind of like that. It's not noticeable enough to where you could put like a basketball inside and blow it back out. And you can see here, they've got some thick Bondo work there. So Bondo that I have will work for all this stuff, but it'll be better for something like this. And then to go skim around on all these little dents, it's really ideal to use the icing, which is like a caulking tube. And it's a lot smoother to lay down and it's a lot easier to sand off. I don't know, but you guys can see I got the windows taped up a little bit. As I was sanding, I mean, honestly guys, sanding is, it's tough work. I'm not gonna lie. You have to constantly be putting pressure on it. And you know, there's weird angles and stuff. So I work for about an hour, and then what I'll do is I'll jump onto something else, give my shoulders and stuff a little bit of a break. I don't, you know, so my muscles are a little soft because I don't do this every day. So so while I was in the middle of taking breaks sanding, I continued to work on something else. I pulled off all the rest of the vinyl wrap from the entire truck, so there's absolutely no wrap on the truck left. And I did the entire hood. If you guys remember, the hood was super completely wrapped still, and it has been since we started the project. That's because it was so hard to get off, but in between me taking breaks and sanding, I was able to get it all off. So that's great. The major parts we have left to sand are the hood, roof, and like the little pillars. I mean, regardless of this little bed section here, this is honestly not too bad. I know it looks like a lot, but it's really not that bad. It's just time consuming. So we're getting there slowly but surely. We're getting there. I'm gonna let this dry up for a little bit, and then we'll come out here and we'll block it down a little bit and see how it turns out. Hopefully we can get rid of these little irregularities in the texture, because that's the one thing I did not want was air bubbles in there. But they said that if you have air bubbles, that you can sand it down and you can skim it again and you can get rid of them. It's not gonna really mess with the integrity of the Bondo, so at least we can do that. This one, I really feel like we're gonna have to sand that all the way down and get that out of there, because it was, as I was putting it on there, it was kind of dry. All right, it might be kind of loud, but I got all the fans on to get all this aroma and chemical smell out of here. But I was able to prep this area, and I went and spread some more Bondo on this area. So up here, there was a lot of like rippling effect from some of the grinding I had to do to get a lot of the glue residue off. So it was real wavy through there. So I skimmed that whole section. There was a little cherry dent right there in the front, and there was like a couple of small little tiny uneven things right there. So I went ahead and skimmed that. And we're gonna still be sanding all of this down a little bit more. We still have to go up 2 or 3 more steps in sandpaper grit in order to prep it for primer. So all of this, a lot of this stuff is gonna end up going away as we sand it all down. So yeah, I've got this right here drying. My fan right here is working out great. It's fantastic. Alrighty, y'all. I was able to get it done, as you can see behind me. I didn't do the bottom section yet. That's because this bed section took a lot longer than I thought. There was a huge patch of Bondo, and I just wanted to make sure I got all that off of there so I had a nice clean metal surface to go ahead and skim my coat on there. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. It's crazy. You guys can see here. So what they did was, this clearly must have been pushed in at one point, and then these, I would assume, are little holes from them using a dent puller to pull it out. And then you can see we've got a nice little ding here, and then we have some pitting and stuff right there, which is not bad. We got the top of the bed rail looking decent, not too bad through there. This right here is some sticker residue from, I guess, when they put the bed rails on that I have sitting over there. So I am just, whenever I get done with the pad, like whenever I know it's almost done, I just have been going up here and chewing it off. Believe it or not, it was all the way down through here, and you can tell I've got almost all of it gone. Just got this last little section here, but that stuff just chews up pads. So anytime I got a pad that's literally 5 minutes from being done, I just go ahead and run it up there for 15, 20 passes and then call it a day. But you can see that there's some serious rippling here. This whole section that you see that's metal, maybe not all of it, but at least this section here was all just a skimmed coat. There was 2 types of Bondo down in there, and then there was a yellow coat that was on top of it, and I think that was the putty that they put on there. So anyways, we're gonna skim all of this, and we're gonna skim all of this, and then honestly, because there was a little push in right here, I'm going to skim from this line to this line, this one big section here, from here to here, literally down through here. Oh, and by the way, getting this fuel cap clean, man, there was so much paint and stuff built up on this thing. It was ridiculous how thick that was on that thing. We're gonna skim all of this up here, and then we're gonna skim straight down through here, pretty much this whole section. Now remember, a lot of it comes off whenever we sand. So we're just gonna be filling in pretty much all this metal that you see. We're gonna fill in all this section. And when we sand it down, we're gonna sand it back down to this, and maybe a little bit remaining right here in this area, because we have a little bit of like a triangle dent right here. All right, there you go. I got that whole thing nice and skimmed. I'm about to go pick up some icing and stuff. That way I have it for whenever we need to do the finishing touches on that, but that's gonna be in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, advice, concerns, put them down in the comment section. I make sure I get back to everybody. Make sure you hit the like button for me. It really helps out with growing the channel and everything. And I really appreciate all the support. Thanks so much. Love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. See you guys.